lights are off and away they go.
Extremely loose. He's managed to hold on and they get.
He missed the complete that. He's crazy stuff.
Side Freitas is on the grass on the infield floor. He slides through. He tags Richard Eck.
We float high in a Florida Panhandle sky that pushes down on Five Flags Raceway, which tonight plays host to Round 7 of the Bootleg Racing League's Outlaw Series for the SK Modifieds. And you'll be able to watch all the action live as it happens here on the Global Sim Racing channel. In just under a quarter hour, the flagmen will show the green letting loose a rumbling horde of SK Modified machines to stampede into the first corner of this 100-lap event. So get your big screen input routed to the internet feed, ladle up a bowl of oyster stew, pour yourself a cold glass of Buffalo Rock Ginger Ale. Then put the Lazy Boy recliner to good use and enjoy the 50 miles of simulated short track excitement that will be streaming your way. Hello everyone and welcome to another GSRC broadcast. I'm your host, Bill Soupson, filling in for Chris Scala, who is on assignment. Taking a pay cut and sliding over to the co-commentator's chair is someone who grew up in the world of short track modifieds, and that is my friend Sean Ambrose. Turning the knobs and pushing the sliders is the hardest working man in sim racing broadcasting, Joseph Peak, and at his disposal will be the visionary camera locations provided by the renowned Dougie Beard. Well, if you were with us last time at Langley, you witnessed J.R. Shepard. He beat Jeff Sharp to the checkered flag by 0.2 of a second, becoming the series' 6th different winner in as many races this season. Tonight, for round 7, the series moves to the flattest state in the nation, and Sean, with that in mind, whether we see a 7th new winner or our first 2-time winner, it'll all take place on this relatively flat surface that is Five Flags Raceway.
Bill, beautiful Pensacola, Florida this evening. I give you the city of Five Flags. Here we are, Five Flags Speedway. Welcome to iRacingLive.com and Five Flags Speedway, a great track, 100 laps here tonight, half miles. 50 miles for this event. We've got 15 degrees in the turns, 9 degrees on the straight. It's about 55 feet wide, Bill. Weather tonight going to be 78 degrees out there, 79 degrees on the track. We've got 30% track usage, 61% humidity. Might get a little slick. We'll see. Did some testing here myself. It's a pretty fast track, folks, but you're going to have to do it through those 15 degrees of banking. Surface, a bit of a cheese grater. I've talked about it enough. I'll tell you what, it opened in 1953. Been here a very, very long time. Let's take a ride around it real quick in the Global Sim Racing channel, SK Modified.
Hello everyone and welcome to the Global Sim Racing channel. I'm Brian Yazek. This is the legendary Five Flag Speedway, and this is the GSRC SK Modified. So without further ado, here we go. This is how you get around this little joint. It's a very unique track because you're always turning to the left. As you can see down here in 1 and 2, you're going to find that white line come all the way, float back up, still have the wheel turned a little bit back down to the bottom in turns 3 and 4. Watch the wheel spin off of the corner. The modified will want to bite off of that corner, and the rear is going to want to step around and meet the front of the car. But as I said, it always kind of feels like you're turning left here. As you can see, the wheel never really straightens out. Back down into 3 and 4 again. Watching that wheel spin off of 4. But as you see right here, the start-finish line is almost right in front of the entrance to the corner. So you really are hitting the brakes early and often, and I use the term front straightaway in a very loose fashion here. 3 and 4 again. You don't want to jump down and hit that curbing because you see there's a pit wall waiting for you right there. Really will mess up your entire race. 1 and 2, don't want to hit that wall either. The track kind of opens up a little bit. You might see guys move about half a lane up, try to get a better run off of the corner. Just have to see how the tires hold off and if the drivers can hold their tempers as well. Five Flags is a fun little short track, half a mile long, and it is a legend in its own right for a reason. So without further ado, this is your track guide around Five Flags Speedway. I'm Brian Yazik. Enjoy the show.
And there's a little tour of Five Flags Raceway by Brian Yazik in the daytime. Of course, tonight we are in the evening. What we're going to do is see if we can get a little pre-race interview here with one of the drivers. We're going to try to talk to Ryan Nuss. Ryan, do you have a copy?
I don't think Ryan's here, Stu.
Yeah, we got Brian Neff, actually.
Oh, it's Brian. All right, so I didn't write my notes right. Hey, Brian, how you doing? Hey,
Pretty good.
let me go to the mailbag here. A viewer, Maddie Albright from Lexington, Kentucky, she emailed in this question. So with names like Shepard and Nuss and Brown and Sharp and Shinosky and even yourself as race winners, it seems like the inverted grid shakes things up a bit. As a league member, do you enjoy that format or do you find it frustrating?
It's definitely frustrating, but it makes for good racing. It just evens things out a little bit and makes the fast guys race for it,
Got it. Sean, you have a question?
Yeah, Neff, you kind of got yourself up there in the top 10 of the points battle now, maybe shooting at the top 5. I know the top of the championship battle may be a bit off in the distance, but you think top 5 is in play for you?
Yeah, we're trying to get every spot we can, It's not over till the last race, so we're going to try and get every spot we can and try and get a good start to next season for sure.
Well, your old buddy Phil's been pretty hot tonight. How's the car feel for you?
The car is pushing. I think they should have named this place One Flag and bought 4 more lights, but I'm definitely pushing bad out of 2 and 4, so I've kind of adjusted my line a little bit to compensate for that, but seems that on a long run it starts to get loose, so we'll see. It's going to be quite a race, I think.
All right, well, treat that Winn-Dixie 60 SK modified well, my friend. Have a great run. Hope we get a chance to talk to you again before the evening's over. Thanks a lot.
All right, Sean. Hey, good to see you over here, Stu. We'll hopefully see you in another race here before long.
All right. There you have it. Good luck as the race is about to start. Let's go ahead and take a second now and look at the points here. Now, if you look up consistency in your Funkin' Wagnall, you'll find a picture of the points leader, and that's Donnie Moore. Hey, despite not owning any first place hardware this time, Moore is 2 points up on last race's winner, and that's J.R. Shepard. Now, well off the pace in third is a previous race winner, Jeff Sharp, followed by Tim Knott, and another winner is Ryan Nuss. Sorry about that. Now, with a points ladder that emphasizes participation, it's going to make it pretty tough for some of those drivers that are farther down the standings to try to close the gap. So, Sean, we've talked about the track, we talked about the points. Let's take a second and talk about some of the race-specific rules.
All right, well, we are inverting the grid from last week. Now, our winner was J.R. Shepard, picking up that first win. We've been talking about it for weeks, about how this streak has continued. 6 races, 6 different winners. Does someone stand a chance to repeat tonight? We'll see here, but we will invert. Looking here, J.R. Shepard is in the field, and so he will be starting in 8th, and the 8th place finisher last week was, go down that list real quick, and I don't see. So I'm sorry, I lost it there. I'm sorry, it was Phil Temples. Okay, actually that's important because Phil's been really hot tonight, Phil. But so we'll invert the top 8 from last week. Fixed setup, 16-gallon fuel load that will get you to the end on 100 laps. But the tires, you can't change them. You got to not let that car up on the jack. Make sure you got the tires unchecked if you have to come into the pit for one free fast repair that you'll get if you get some damage. Okay, so the wave by rule, it's in effect. It's manually done by the admin. They'll wave that first car a lap or more down if they didn't cause the caution. So lots of great stuff. Again, 30% track state tonight, so pretty good track. Humidity's kind of low, a little bit of grip out there, some really awful fast laps right now. Joe Marks, top of the practice sheets right now, Bill, with a 16.013, sir. Half mile.
Yeah, and that wave by rule, that really probably in this series plays as big a factor as anything, and mainly because when you couple the wave by rule with the one fast repair, what you can actually do, even if you lose a lap from an incident that you've got, if you can come in, get a fast repair, and then pick up a wave around, you're back in the game.
Yes, sir, you are back in the game, and we were talking about that championship battle. With the way the points ladder works here, 14 points to the winner, and it goes on down by just a point all the way down through eighth place, and then it starts to drop. But yeah, you can't pick up a whole lot at a time. You've got to hope for someone like a Donnie Moore, our points leader, to maybe have a little bit of bad luck, or even J.R. Shepard. But man, Shepard's been hot, and he's going to be hard to beat. But lots going on here in the Bootleg Racing League. You can have your name on this series, Bill. Not just you, anyone, any business. Check these guys out. They're looking for new marketing partners and sponsors. You can contact Lowell and all the guys at the Bootleg Racing League, bootlegracingleague.com/sponsorship. Give them a look. And again, Bill, we talked about it. 6 races, 6 different winners. 7 tonight. Is it possible? But does someone get that repeat? You know who hasn't won? Bill, our championship leader, Donnie Moore, does not have a win this season. Could he do it tonight?
Yeah, and then we follow up on that. A previous champion, Lowell Jewell, yet without a win. Of course, Lowell's not here today. We'd like to wish Lowell the best as he's recovering from, I don't want to give away any secrets, but he had a little procedure done. He's feeling better, but it hurts. So the Kentucky, in his Kentucky drawl, said, "Oh, it hurts." So he won't be with us today, but Lowell, we're thinking of you. Get better soon. We'll see you back next week. Sean, let's take a second about, we talked about Lowell hurting. These tires can kind of hurt a little bit too on this place. Now, the rules don't let you change tires, so in a way that almost becomes more strategic as you kind of got to baby those things early.
Yeah, you really do have to take care of them a little bit here. The banking, we talked about that earlier. It's actually pretty aggressive, the 15 degrees in the turns. And I turned some laps here this afternoon. You really, there's a lot of speed down low, but it does come at a cost. The right sides, especially the right rear, can get angry quick. And we've talked about this on broadcast before. An angry right rear in the SK Modified is not a happy car. And this is not a good place. I said it was only 55 feet wide in the turns. It's actually only about 48 feet wide. So a mistake here, not a whole lot of time to react to or room to run off. You're going to be in trouble if that car gets out of shape. Taking care of the tires is going to be premium. You might see guys maybe run a little bit up, a little bit more towards the center of the track. There is a good groove there, and there is still speed there. You've just got to be really careful getting off the turns.
Yeah, that's what I wanted to ask you here with the progressive banking. If you're going to make a pass, can you do it on the outside, or do you kind of have to get your nose in like you would a normal short track?
You kind of got to glide it in there a little bit and get that nose. You definitely, like I said, the speed is down low, but it comes at a cost off the turn when you're burning off there and really getting hard on that right rear. So
it might be one of those things with 100 laps, and I'm glad they upped it up to 100 laps. It used to be 75 early on in the earlier seasons. 100 laps makes for a little more eventful race and allows those tire wear to become a bigger factor there. Looking at our times right now as we see that, am I going through the qualifying times, looking to see who's the fastest out there right now as I run through this practice time.
Yeah, it's still Joe Marks.
Yeah, it
still
looks
the
like Joe
fastest
Marks
on track, yeah. And that is a blistering time. I've got to be really honest with you. Again, this is a half-mile track, 16 seconds.
Now, did I hear you mention as I was going half listening to you, not that you were boring me earlier, but I was going through my notes at the same time. Did I hear you mention that Philip Temples might have been the 8th place finisher of the last race?
He was, and he's going to start at a pole. And
yeah.
Phil's been wicked hot here tonight. He's won 2 races already. Ran one in the trucks, 50 laps here at Five Flags, and then turned right around in the super late and won those 100 laps there. 150 laps here this evening. Phil Temples has dominated both races. Looking to do it again here in the SK Modifieds tonight in the Outlaw 100. Bill, the grid, I believe, is set and ready to go.
Absolutely. Let's call these up here. And as we talked about, Philip Temples is going to be on the pole thanks to his 8th place finish last race. He's also your 3rd fastest practice time today. So he should be somebody to keep an eye on. Outside of him, on the outside of row 1, John Holcomb, not so fast today, practice 12th. Donnie Moore and Ryan Nuss make up the 2nd row. Those guys well back in the practice time, 9th and 13th between them. The 3rd row is going to be made up of Jeff Sharp. Keep an eye on him, 2nd fastest practice time. J.R. Shepard coming off a win last race. Matt Shanowski in 7th, 8th position to Richard Blake. 9 and 10 goes to Brian Neff and Chris Wolfson. Sean, you can close out the back.
All right, yes, sir, I will do just exactly that. The number 41, Tim Knott, will start 11th. Just outside of him on row 6, Ralph Connor. In 13th place, Joe Marks on row 7, and the outside of row 7 will be finished out by Tim Shanowski. 14 SK Modifieds, ready to rumble, baby, here at Five Flags Speedway.
They go around, they finish their parade lap. Now they go around for the pace lap, and that beautiful Mustang that leads the way will be pulling off. Look at that beautiful. What color is that? Gold Mustang? Man, it really shines in under these night lights.
It is a chrome illusion gold, I think is what they call that, something like that.
Chrome illusion. It is beautiful. Childhood Cancer Organization, the sponsor, as always. And that car pulls off right now. So we'll keep an eye on Philip Temple as he paces them to the start-finish line. Checks up a little bit as they battle into the first corner. Temple's out in front. Donnie Moore from the inside of the 2nd row was able to get into 2nd place. Holcomb on the outside in 3rd. Jeff Sharp peeking to the inside. Sharp's going to take over 3rd, Sean.
I watched that super late model race, and that's the same 1-2 we had there. Donnie Moore already making ground there with Phil Temples. They are starting to break away from the field. Jeff Sharp going to have to get busy. He's got Ryan Nuss right behind him. John Holcomb in the 69 caught up top, but having a nice run. Shanoski stuck down there on the bottom in the 35, gets a nice run off. Here comes Brian Neff making a move on John Holcomb in the 3, down on the bottom.
Neff in that 60 car making that inside work. Stuck on the outside is the 69 machine of John Holcomb, and he just can't get down. He is caught out to dry. Falling back, moving up into 9th now, last race winner, J.R. Shepard.
The Colts need a touchdown. They need something. They have gotten stuck up top there. John has not found a way in. Now he's got more company there. That's Lucas. That's the 66 and Richard Blake on the inside. Almost gets together with Holcomb.
Not missing anything up front. He's still stuck up top. Your leader is still Philip Temples. Donnie Moore following him.
J.R. Shepard right now working on the number 41 of Tim Knott. Those two are battling. J.R. looking pretty fast again here this week. Could he be that 2nd-time winner this week? He's in 7th place right now. Got a little bit of work to do to get there. Those two up front are just kind of starting to run away, though. On board with J.R. You see the number 41 there, Tim Knott just up in front of him. Looking to the inside, Tim leaving the door open just a little bit, trying to take care of those tires. Just up ahead of them, Brian Neff down on the inside, battling Shinosky. Matt Shinosky, I'm sorry, we've got Matt and Tim in here. Matt off pace, losing a lot of spots there.
Yeah, he's stuck up high there a little bit. He may have got a little help, and now he's got the 99 machine inside of him. Sorry, it's the 66 machine of Richard Blake.
Yeah, Richard Blake and the Loves SK Modified getting a good run there. Takes advantage of it. Just up in front of them, again, J.R. Shepard still working on Tim Knott. The 66 of Richard Blake having a pretty good run now. He's been able to open it up just a bit there on Machinowski.
There you go, and you look at that battle there with Shepard and Knott, and there goes Shepard to the inside. Knott is your charger so far. He started in 10th position, had made up, actually not started in 11th, had made up about 4 or 5 positions up into 6th. Now drops back one as Shepard now moves into 6th spot. Very clean racing so far, Sean, as they're working on lap 12. We're green.
Yes, sir. Absolutely. We've gotten off to a great start. Pretty good race pace so far. Oh, Tim Knott under attack from Richard Blake. The 66 on the inside. Can he hold it down? It gets a little bit loose. Pushes Knott up the track. Shinosky all over the bumper of Richard Blake.
Blake in that beautiful yellow machine gets inside of Shinosky, moves up into 7th. Watching the whole thing happen is Tim Knott, who's beginning to drop now.
Tim was racing hard earlier to start this race. He got off that fast start. Maybe too fast, Bill. Car maybe starting to show a little bit of give up on him. He's having to try to make an adjustment, and it's cost him.
Let's go up to 5th position real quick, and this is Ryan Nuss being pressured by J.R. Shepard. Shepard is on the move. He qualified 6th, he's running 6th, but he had fallen back, and now Shepard makes a look on the inside. He's going to get that done. He's got the 13 machine of Nuss stuck to the outside. Shepard one more position up into the top 5.
Matt Shinosky trying to put a move on Richard Blake. Richard Blake up top opens the door for Matt Shinosky. Able to take the position away. Oh, here comes Tim Knott. Now the door open. Richard Blake left the door open, makes contact with Tim Knott. Both cars keep it under control, looking good. Tim still down there low.
Blake on the high side is in trouble now because trying to duck in, and in there is John Holcomb, if he can keep it down off of him, and he does. Holcomb in the 69 machine on the inside.
Richard Blake making contact with the wall, coming across the stripe. Beat up the right side a little bit, Bill. Carrying a little extra weight with him now.
We stay green as the leader crosses again, and we start lap 20. Not much changing up front.
Man, they have gone bye-bye in a car real quick. This is a fast one tonight. We are almost to the quarter-way point of this race, and there has been absolutely no give-up yet.
It's pretty calm up front. The battle is what you're looking at right there, starting 8th back. Knott, Holcomb, Blake, Wolfson, Connor, Shinosky, all in a battle. And then watching the whole thing, still running in last, but still in touch with those guys, is Joe Marks in the number 3 machine.
Chris Wolfson in number 17 starting to look a little bit antsy. He is starting to catch Richard Blake and starting to maybe set him up for a move. He's been a little patient back there, but he's seen Richard get a little bit sloppy here a few laps ago, and maybe that's time to take advantage of that. I'd love to pick up another spot, get himself into the top 10.
Right now, single file all the way from 1st to 14th. Let's jump up to 6th position. Shinosky taking a peek underneath. That's Ryan Nuss, and he gets that done. Shinosky up into 5th. Nuss dropping back into 6th. 2 previous winners.
Yeah, the handle's starting. Oh, Nuss in the wall, coming out of the turn. Just as we go on board with him there, he catches it. I think he caught it pretty hard, actually, Bill. I'm going to have to go down, take a look at the right side of that machine. Not seeing a lot of damage. You never know if it could have maybe knocked the toe out a little bit. I mean, here comes Tim. Tim Knott is just behind him, caught him now. He's losing ground to Matt Shinoski. That really cost Nuss bad. That was
Let's go to second.
Mistake.
Let's go to second real quick because we have a pass for second. Brian Neff on the inside of Donnie Moore. The handle has gone away from Moore's car. He was running in second. The three guys behind him, Neff, Sharp, and Shepard, have all run him down. And you can see now as Neff gets around Moore, Moore's having a hard time keeping up. And now on inside, look at this battle here as Shepard gets a move on the inside of Sharp. Shepard moves up to fourth. Shepard on the hunt, and I don't think it's going to be long, Sean, until he gets Donnie Moore as well.
Tell you what, not often you see Donnie Moore make a mistake, but again, not everybody has a track that they love. Brian was saying in the interview that's certainly not his favorite place, but man, he's starting to show a little bit of speed now. Philip Temple's in his sight. Here comes J.R. Shepard, though. Man, that kid is good. He has shown up here in the Outlaw Modified Series and shown himself to be a really hot shoe. And tonight, not any different. But hey, we got to talk about this leader, Philip Temple. So
yellow flag
is out, Bill.
See if we can find it.
Oh, and it was Matt Shinoski up on his lid. Oh, across the start-finish line. He collects the concrete. Here we go. We're on board with him now, Matt Shinoski.
This is all him, Sean.
Yeah, it's going to be a wild ride now. We're on the back stretch with him right now, but as we come through turn 4, car going to get out of shape. Ouch. And then up and
hit.
over.
First Tim got him rocking, second hit turned him over.
Boy. That's a shame there for Matt.
Well, that'll bunch him up a bit, and probably, other than Shinoski, the guy who didn't like that is probably Philip Temples, who has had a nice, comfortable lead. He's going to have Brian Neff right behind him.
Yes, he is. Going to restart this race with a mirror full, the Winn-Dixie 60. Brian Neff at the wheel. Eyes are probably glaring red right now and burning a hole through the back window there of Philip Temple's machine. Donnie Moore, chance for him to cool the tires off here, Bill. Donnie would love to get back into that race up there for the lead. And again, this comes at a good time when, let's face it, they had thrown down some hot laps, 30-plus laps, 32 laps before that caution lap came out. And, great start to this race.
The guy who's happy also to see that is J.R. Shepard. He had a good tempo going on. It was making up ground. Started 6th, fell back in the pack, then had to get around all those drivers, made his way up to 4th. I think he was using up a lot of his equipment to get there, so this might be good for him as he seems to be really fast, able to put the car down low and make it stick and get under these guys.
Well, sir, we get a chance to reset the field. Third of the way gone. Philip Temple's your leader. Brian Neff sitting in second place, Bill. He's done a lot of work to get this race started. Donnie Moore in third. J.R. Shepard been working hard, too. He's going to be in fourth. Jeff Sharp back to fifth. Ryan Nuss back to sixth. His car was starting to go away on him. Tim Knott sitting in seventh. John Holcomb in eighth. We've seen him spend a lot of time on the outside. Still not sitting too bad there in eighth. They will restart single file. Richard Blake back to ninth. Here they go, Bill. Philip Temples on the hammer.
And there he is, gets out to the lead. There you see Shinoski down low. Temple's out in front. Neff behind him, Moore, Shepard, and Sharp. They run single file all the way back to 13th to Joe Marks. And quickly to talk about Marks, who's bringing up the caboose here. If practice times mean anything, he was your fastest practice time. He put in a 16 flat in practice. You would think with that kind of time, he should be raring to go.
Oh, the caution's back out. Looks like Tim Knott's got trouble.
Again, a self-spin. Nosed it into the inside wall. You can see the car just get loose here, Sean.
Yeah.
Is this a case of getting the power down too soon, you think, when you watch this?
Well, yeah, a combination of putting the power down just a little bit too soon and not having any heat built up in those tires yet. Got to get a little something charged up in them before you get on the hammer that hard. And yeah, it looks like he might have spun it just a little bit, and it sent that SK Modified around. He'll get a chance to repair it. He's gonna have to do that. He hit it pretty hard. We'll look at it on board with him one more time here. Tim Knott, the number 41, representing the great state of Texas. Down into turn 3. You'll see it as he comes off, starts to go around, and boom, hit that inside retaining wall hard, though.
Sean, let me ask you. When you're driving these cars, if you're doing quick laps, are you turning the car right much to keep it from going around on you?
Boy, I'll tell you, sometimes you'll find it a little bit as the tires start to give up, but not too much. I mean, if you're doing that, then you've got a car that's not handling too well, obviously. So with the banking here, not so much. Not a lot of meat to the straightaways here. They're not very long, but you do have enough to straighten out a little bit, get a little bit of a break, not much. So you're not fighting it too much to the right at all.
As we are on lap 41, about 9 away from the halfway mark. The leaders stay up front. Maybe we can update some of the viewers on drivers who are out. We know Matt Shinosky had his trouble. He's now 4 laps down. It's going to be hard for him to get back up into the hunt. Tim Knott is still out there. Let's see if he actually came into the pits after that spin. Yes, he did. Probably took his free repair. It really is an advantage, Sean, isn't it? If you get into an accident and you can drive the car back, it keeps you from losing a lot of time. Something when Shinosky didn't have that option was being on his hood.
Yeah, and having to take that tow, really the difference there. Tim able to get the car in, able to use that fast repair. The 41 SK Modified is ready to go, looks clean, looks fast. He'll get to restart in 13th place. Matt's going to have to do it the old-fashioned way and get that wave around just like the one he got. He'll now sit 3 laps down, looking for the next caution flag.
Philip Temples has led from the first lap all the way here through 43 laps, trying to go wire to wire. Fans and announcers alike are hoping, and the drivers too, I'm sure, are hoping for a green flag finish as the pace car pulls in. Temples paces the field, gets a good jump off of one, a nice early break down the straightaway. Doesn't bunch him up at all. Brian Neff staying right with him if he can. Temples pulls away between 2 and 3. Now coming out of 4. Temples leads the lap, gets about 2 car length lead. Everybody's single file behind him.
Neff did a pretty good job of playing follow leader. There's J.R. Shepard on the inside of Donnie Moore into 3. J.R. Shepard takes it away like candy from a baby.
Shepard is on the move. That's the driver to watch, and he's got 54 laps to get there, and I think he can get it done. Oh, as Neff, Brian goes a little bit high and puts it in the outside wall from second place. Neff running in that 60 machine. We'll see if that damaged it. Look at them bunch up now. A little crow horn from Shepard.
Shepard makes contact with Neff, has to check up Donnie Moore. Ryan Nuss gets high and wide, almost makes contact. He's able to hang on, Bill.
Brings that 13 car right down in front of the yellow car of Richard Blake. Nuss in 7th, but meanwhile up front, Temple's not able to have his way, and now Shepard again taking a peek inside of Neff. Shepard doing everything he can to find his way around. Neff trying to leave the door open. Neff maybe thinking about going high. Temple's out in front. Neff with a great bite off of 2. Now looking to the inside of Temples. Can't get it done. A little hello from Neff, and he turns him. And it's a big pile up behind him. It collects everybody. Blake is involved. The third place driver of Shepard involved.
Boy, that wasn't pretty at all. A lot of cars stacked up there. Here comes the GSRC replay. You see Philip Temples there, the number 19 in front. Brian Neff right behind him in the 60. Gets a good run. Makes that contact. And that turns Phil Temples around, unfortunately.
Hit him once, hit him twice. Yeah, didn't get it done the first time.
Well, it's a situation where you make the initial contact, and Neff did back off after the initial contact, but it gets the car in front of him out of shape. That gets him off pace, and he hits him again, goes around. Everybody gets collected there. Geez, Richard Blake and
Sean,
and just a whole host of cars in there.
You say the word everybody, and it literally almost was everybody. I bet you caught 9 out of the 13 cars that were out there.
Yeah, a bit of a small field tonight, only 14, and at least 7 or 8 of them involved in that. On board with John Holcomb, Bill.
We watch to see where. I don't think Holcomb had anywhere to go. Let's watch here. As you can see up ahead, nowhere to go.
Oof. Well, everybody coming in to use that fast repair now. Do you believe everybody was able to make it back to the pit without having to take a tow?
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. The good news is nobody ended up on their lid, so they were all able to get back in. And I believe the driver who had the fast repair earlier, Matt Chanowski, wasn't involved in it. That was ugly, both in the beginning of it, the reason that it happened, and then in the consequences afterwards.
Yeah, it's tough break. Hard racing.
It happens.
Hard racing going on with half the race out of the way, and things starting to, get a little desperate. Time to make a move.
I'm watching Philip Temples right now. Maybe we can put the camera on. Temple's giving a little love tap to Brian right now under yellow.
Yeah, those two been around a long time. Good competitors. Seen the wars together. Been in the trenches. Not the first time they've made contact, Bill.
Well, in Neff's defense, he's not driving to the store. My dad used to say he's out there racing. Dale Earnhardt used to say, I didn't mean to turn him, just meant to rattle his cage. Well, consider it rattled.
I believe so. I believe it has been sufficiently rattled. That is correct.
Pace car is in, so we have a new leader now, Brian Neff. He's got a steaming Philip Temples behind him. The good news for Neff is I believe Neff was faster before the incident, so we'll see if Brian can pull away. Temples in second, Holcomb in third, Nuss in fourth. Good news for those guys, Sean, is I think the fastest driver on the track was Shepard, and he's just laboring back there now in 13th spot.
Yeah, Shepard got a lot of work to do. He is languishing back there. Donnie Moore just in front of him. There's another guy that got shuffled all the way back. Donnie having he's got Jeff Sharp just in front of him. He's going to have to try and get through him. Your championship leader shuffled all the way at the back of the field right now, running out of time.
While we were looking back in the pack, Ryan Nuss has got around Richard Blake just to confuse the announcer there. So right now, Neff out in front, Temples in second. Holcomb and Ryan Nuss is on the move. He's got John Holcomb ahead of him. We'll keep an eye on Nuss in that 13 machine.
Oh, and the caution is out.
Was that our leader? Let's see if he did that on his own. Nope, I'm afraid it was a little bit of payback. So that should even the score.
Well, we're going to take a look at it on the replay. Let's see how close Phil got. Ooh, a little bit on the inside there. And Neff started to leave the door open just a bit there, Bill, I think.
Temples kicked it in. Well, in my book, I keep score here. I think that's 1-1. I call it even, boys. So if I was Mom, I'd say shake hands and play nice. Your new leader, Philip Temples, back out in front.
Back out in front. Hey, look who's in second all of a sudden. John Holcomb, early on in this race, didn't look like he had much of a chance. He was rim riding it, baby. Now, here we are with, like I said, past the 40 laps to go, and John Holcomb finds himself in second place. Ryan Nuss, another car who had trouble early, thought maybe he'd used it up just a bit. Not quite so. He is up to third, Bill.
Now, if we drop back a little bit more, we can talk about that beautiful yellow car of Richard Blake running in fourth. Clint Wolfson, a driver we haven't heard much about, in the 17 machine in fifth. But the guy we got to keep an eye on, he's been playing possum, and that's the number 3 machine. What color is that? Is it kind of fire engine orange there, or it's black and white? Sorry, I have the wrong paint scheme on my screen.
It's
Joe Marks.
Yeah, that's the Jimmy Johns, the freaky fast machine of Joe Marks.
That's the guy that I got. He's your fastest practicer in the little warm-up session. Had been running around in the back of the field. I think the car is still nice and clean.
Yeah, and it says it right there on the back, man. So fast you'll freak.
Okay, well, wave around going to Matt Shinosky now. It's going to be 2 laps down if this keeps up. Watch out for Shinosky. The car is clean. He was able to avoid all the other incidents.
Yeah, actually, that's going to put Matt, that'll take him back to a
1 lap
down.
There you go.
He still has time to get this done.
Pace car taking around one more time as they roll around here with 38 to go. Philip Temple's back out in front. Does not have a win this season, nor does John Holcomb. You have to go back to your third place driver, Ryan Nuss, before you get to anybody who's taken home any hardware so far this year. Richard Blake also empty trophy case at home, and also Chris Wilson. Pace car is in. Philip Temples gets a great jump now, and with most of his competition buried back in the pack, it's looking good for Philip Temples to go wire to wire from here. He gets a great jump on John Holcomb. Ryan Nuss now in third, looking for a way around. I hear some contact.
Oh, it's back out again.
Shinosky. Shinosky gets involved with Connor. Well, Shinosky was looking for a yellow flag, but he didn't want to be the yellow flag.
Yeah, he certainly didn't want to be the yellow flag. Here we go on the replay. You see Shinosky there in the Hardee's machine.
Oh, he got some help. Got some help from Donnie Moore.
We talked about Donnie trying to make up ground, getting busy, running out of time. He's got a points championship he's trying to hold on to.
And looking for his first win.
Yes, and looking for his first win, exactly.
Championships are just as sweet. Doesn't matter how you get them. At least I would assume.
A win is always a win, Bill. All right, well, we're going to reset with less than 35 laps to go. It is going to be an old-fashioned sprint to the finish. It's still been a very quick race, Bill, regardless of I believe that's our third caution flag that we've had now.
What we want to watch for is Ryan Nuss in third spot, because he is hungry in that 13 machine. Teeny Turtle Childcare, it says on the side of that machine.
Yeah, Nuss would love to become the first 2-time winner this season.
I got to pull for somebody with Teeny Turtle Childcare. That sounds like a fun place to go. I'd leave my toddler there. Turtle sounds safe. You wouldn't want to leave your kid at something called like Fish's Doberman Childcare. That would not be good. Teeny Turtle, though.
Or
I like
Buffalo Bills Childcare.
That's
I'm
okay.
sorry. Anyway.
It's okay.
You either get that or you don't. But anyway. Bill, we're going to restart with 32 laps to go. Philip Temple's looking to become another winner this season. He's got a little bit of time to pull it off.
Watch Ryan Nuss in third. He's laying back a little bit on John Holcomb, trying to get a run. Oops, they're going to go one more time around.
Yeah, I thought they were getting ready to restart. That's kind of weird. I thought the lights were out on the pace car. And no, they are still.
You know, I think there was a a late wave around there, so they wanted to make sure that probably Shinosky got all the way around. Let's see.
Yeah, that might have been exactly it, actually. And so Matt Shinosky will be back on the lead lap.
Yeah, he did get his lead lap, even though he was involved in that. Wasn't involved in that incident, we're thinking. Okay, so Shinosky got his lap back. Okay. There's the green. I still hear some banging going on to the back, but Temple gets a great jump.
Yeah, J.R. Shepard mixing it up with Donnie Moore and Jeff Sharp. Boy, they got off to a rocky start. Brian Neff in that mix, too. Donnie Moore down just below him. Sorry, Bill. Up front.
That's okay. You see that Moore gets that position. Meanwhile, up front, Temple's able to hold the lead. Holcomb in second. Nuss, as we thought, wasn't able to do much there. As we have 30 to go. Still plenty of time for those guys to get there. Let me set it up. Temples, Holcomb, Nuss. The beautiful yellow car of Richard Blake in 5th place. Chris Wolfson. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. They were in 6th position. Single file all the way back. Joe Marks, Tim Knotts, and Jeff Sharp. J.R. Shepard now up to 9th. You know, he was up front. Donnie Moore on the move in 10th, Sean.
Man, Donnie Moore is on the move. He's got Brian Neff there battling with him. Those two are fighting. Jeff Sharp beating on Tim Knott. Having to get out of it. J.R. Shepard right there with a great ticket, front row ticket to the show. Great battling going on right now. Just great battling. John Holcomb. Oh, we got a pass for
here we
second
go.
place.
We figured what happened, and Ryan Nuss got it. He got around John Holcomb. Now he's got a clear track ahead of him up to the leader, Philip Temples. Temples has about almost a second lead. More banging going on in the back. Everybody's still going straight. We stay green.
And it's Jeff Sharp doing that banging on Tim Knott. Here comes Jeff Sharp. Taking the spot away from Tim Knott. Across the finish line, picks it up.
With 25 to go, I'm going to give you an interval. It's 0.7 of a second. Nuss is beginning to close on Temples. Oh, he's running it down. It's now almost 0.6 of a second. Nuss is on the move. He was able to get around John Holcomb, and that gave him a clear track, and now he's got Temples.
Hey, when Tron gets hooked up, you better watch out. Philip Temples shaking in his boots right now. Again, Philip Temples has won 2 races here already tonight, Bill. Looking to make it 3 in a row, make it the clean sweep.
More banging going on back there, but they stay green. Ryan Nuss closing the gap like David Letterman's dentist. He is right there now. Temple's in front, Nuss right behind him. He's got 22 laps to find a way around.
Our championship leader, Jeff Sharp making a move to the inside on Joe Marks. He's going to pull it off, coming off of 4.
Meanwhile, you might have heard the banging. That was Ryan Nuff. Got it in the outside wall, trying to give everything you can on Temples. Dropping back a little bit now. Look to 3rd position as that beautiful yellow car of Richard Blake moves up that 66 machine into 3rd position. He's got John Holcomb stuck on the outside. Holcomb started 2nd at the green flag. Holcomb fighting back as they go Cialis bathtubs into 3.
Blake having a nice run. I'll tell you what, Jeff Sharp having a great run, trying to make it 3 wide, down into 1.
Sharp thinks better of it and backs out. But now he's got the inside on Holcomb, and he's going to follow Richard Blake around. Sharp moves into 4th position. Holcomb still having a trouble getting that car down to the inside.
Chris Wolfson goes for a slide. Chris Wolfson goes around and brings out the caution flag with 18 laps to go. What a battle that was, Bill.
Woohoo!
Let's pick up the replay. Let's see what happened to Wolfson. I just saw him go around. I didn't see how he got around. Did he get a little bit of help here? Just a bit, maybe. Donnie Moore, Brian Neff in the wrong spot at the wrong time. He gets collected. Looks like, again, maybe just a little bit of help from Donnie Moore. That gets Wolfson around and brings out another caution flag.
My notepad says Donnie Moore's been busy this race.
Yeah, a little bit. And there's Neff on the outside there again. Nowhere to go for him. Those three were racing really hard, Bill. I can't say I'm altogether shocked that they hooked up. It was probably bound to happen. Racing in the late stage of this race, just a little bit of real estate to fight for. Back on board with Brian Neff in the Winn-Dixie 60. We'll see his point of view. We'll see how quickly he runs out of real estate here. Again, just no place to go, no time to react. He was right on him, and boom, there's Chris Wilson.
Big 77 right in his front windscreen. Well, the pace car is still out there with the lights on. Let's go ahead and set the stage for you now as we're looking for a sprint. Philip Temple's still out in front, but he was given everything he could ask for from Ryan Nuss. Now, the bad news is Nuss put that 13 machine, the Tiny Turtle Child Care Special, into the outside wall, and I think that might have taken a little pace away from him. Keep an eye on that beautiful yellow car back there, the 66 of Richard Blake, up to third. Jeff Sharp in fourth. John Holcomb has fallen back to fifth. And Joe Marks started that green flag in sixth, and that's where he stays in that black and white machine, number 3.
You know, Holcomb, we talked about him a bunch tonight. Just keeps kind of sticking around. He seems to prefer, not seems, he obviously prefers the higher groove on this track. It's come at a cost, but, I can't help but to think he's still in this thing with 14 laps to go. I just have a feeling we're going to see another new winner this week. Nuss certainly going to try and prevent that from happening. Phil Temple's just been so strong tonight, though, Bill. Again, I don't want to harp on it, but he's already won 2 races this evening, and again, it's looking pretty good here right now.
Nuss, the only winner in the top 6, the previous winner in this series. You got to go all the way back to J.R. Shepard, back in 7th place, with any kind of hardware at his house from this season. Shepard having a great comeback after running up front. The lights are off on the pace car. Little bumping and banging going on under yellow even. Temples with a good drive off of 4. Gets a nice little jump on Nuss. Blake tucks into third. Sharp in fourth. They go single file all the way around. Temple's really opening up now. 0.6 seconds, 0.7 seconds on Ryan Nuss. Nuss having a hard time.
J.R. Shepard. Oh, J.R. Shepard makes a little bit of contact into Joe Marks. Oh, the caution flag is back out coming out of 4.
Oh, and rolling over Shepard was on his lid. He's back on his wheels. Unfortunately, I don't think he has another free car to get, so I think that's the one he's going to have to finish up with.
I was right on that when it happened, and Joe Marks gets, you'll see the contact here from above. J.R. Shepard looking to the inside there. And he makes just a little bit of contact with Joe Marks. Now the car straightens out initially, but then JR gets out of shape, bites down to the inside, comes back across. What a mess.
It was the second contact with Marks there. They had it pretty much worked out, but then Marks got in trouble. They made contact again. That's what we talk about. It's a narrow track. It's not a lot of room for these cars to bounce away from each other.
No, there isn't. Poor Chris Wilson, he had nowhere to go. Going to focus on him here in the number 17, right on board with him. Let's see how little time he had to react to it all. Again, Wolfson, an innocent bystander here.
Boy, there's just not enough room. Just not enough room.
Yeah, and he gets collected. That's a tough break for Chris tonight.
And when I spent some time running in this, the brief little time I ran in this series, one thing I noticed is these cars don't whoa up very fast. You get them going, they're really good at getting bite off the corner. Not so great at slowing down.
No, they're certainly not an F1 car. No. When it comes to stopping, that's for sure. We talked about how hot Philip Temples was here tonight. Here in the Bootleg Racing League, they run on Tuesday nights also. The Copper Line Legends 50 at Irwindale Speedway this past Tuesday night. They ran the figure 8. Ron Henry was the big winner. 40 laps. Ron dominated all of them. And after that, they ran the White Lightning 100 limited late models there from right here from Five Flags. Ron Henry did it again. He won that race too, Bill.
You know, I know this is going to fall on deaf ears, and it's really not my job to lobby for a track to join a series, but I'll tell GSRC right now that I will work for free if I get to cover a figure eight race for GSRC in this series. So if the powers that be are listening,
we gotta get with Lowell and get him to put that on the schedule. I got to be honest with you. That was fun. I got to catch just a little bit of that. But Ron Henry was definitely dialed in. He's one of Canada's finest karting champion from Canada. There, Bill. I think you'd like his style. He is a quick dude, and he was certainly putting it on them there, running the X on Tuesday night.
real quickly before they go green, how does that work, Sean? Does one side get the right of way, or they just try to figure it out themselves when they get to that intersection?
No, just
first come, first serve.
You take your life in your own hands when you run the X, baby.
I keep asking for Suzuka to tear down the overpass and put in an intersection, but again, more deaf ears there. All right, let me set the stage. They're currently running with 6 laps to go. The pace car is in. It's going to be short to the end. I think one more incident will make us finish under yellow. So let's hope we can go green from here. 6 laps to go. Philip Temples leads them across. They go down the back straight now. Ryan Nuss in second, but I think that car is damaged. Richard Blake in the yellow machine trying to make up some ground. Temples pulling away.
Here comes Jeff Sharp, Bill. He's trying to find a way around Blake. He's got John Holcomb hot on his tail, but Jeff Sharp trying to find a way to get around Richard Blake.
Who'd I be worried about his 5th position is John Holcomb, because we got behind him. He has the pesky Donnie Moore. Donnie Moore looking for a way around, trying to get into the top 5. Remember, every position is worth a point, and the point standings are very close. Donnie Moore in that point championship looking to pick it up anywhere he can. Meanwhile, up in front, Temples comes across the start-finish line, and he starts with 3 to go. Caution is out.
We do have a caution
Chris
flag.
Wolfson, it looks like, maybe.
Oh, boy. I'm trying to pick it up. Oh, no, it looks like that was Joe Marks' contact with... No, I'm sorry, that was the last one. My bad.
Yeah, that's had the same problem. Looks like it might have been Neff.
Yeah, it looks like it might have been. Neff with a little bit of trouble there. He's got Tim Knott just behind him, and Neff gets a little bit loose coming off.
Yep. Yeah, Neff was on the outside. He got touched up.
Well, Bill, that brings out the white flag there, buddy.
Brings out the yellow flag 1 lap earlier, and the white flag now is right now. The first car across the start-finish line will be that beautiful yellow pace car, but right behind that will be Philip Temples. And yes, chalk it up. 7 races, 7 different winners, as Philip Temples is your winner of round 7 in the Outlaw series for Bootleg Racing League. Ryan Nuss 3rd, and Richard Blake rounds out the podium.
Philip Temples pulls off the clean sweep tonight. He sweeps it up here in Pensacola, Florida at Five Flags Speedway on iRacing Live and the Global Sim Racing Channel. Bill, that was a hot race. Philip Temples has obviously got this track figured out.
Well, I sure did have a good time calling it. I hope everyone had a good time watching it, but we're not done yet. What we're going to do is take a short break, and I mean short, because this is short track racing. Then we'll be back to run down the entire field, do driver interviews, and then close it out with the always popular closing credits. Back in just a few. Welcome back to the Global Sim Racing Channel's post-race coverage of the Bootleg Racing League. This is the Outlaw Series for the SK Modifieds, round 7, and it was an exciting one. We're going to run down the standings right now. Your winner, Philip Temples, giving him everything he could ask for, was Ryan Nuff in second position.
And then we had Richard Blake with a great run for him tonight. The number 66 comes home third. Another driver with a great night, Jeff Sharp, the number 49, comes home in fourth.
Fifth place went to John Holcomb, and then poking his nose into the rear end of several cars was Donnie Moore into sixth. Sean?
And Matt Shinosky, tough night for Matt, but still manages to wrangle up a seventh. Tim Shinosky, right there with him, eighth place, the number 77.
Like when Shinosky's finished next to each other. That's good. Tim Knott in ninth position and rounding out the top 10. Boy, he was up front for a while, finished way back in 10th. He found some trouble, J.R. Shepard.
I'll tell you what, I like JR's chances tonight. That was a tough night for him. Chris Wolfson, another driver with a tough night, involved in several incidents. He winds up 11th. Brian Neff, tough night for him too. 12th place for old Neffy there in the Winn-Dixie 60.
My dark horse of the race, Joe Marks, found his way up to about 6th position, then found some trouble, ended up back where he started in 13th spot, and rounding out the field, Ralph Connor. Okay, there goes the entire field of 14. What a great, exciting race today. Let's see who we have here for interviews. It looks like we have our winner. I'm going to let Sean talk to him. Let's go ahead and bring in Philip Temples. Go ahead, Sean.
Phil, what a night, buddy. This is going to be the third time I've congratulated you. Congratulations, my friend.
Thanks, Sean. It was a lot of fun.
Yes, sir, it was, man. You burned up Five Flags Speedway here in Pensacola, Florida all night in the trucks, in the super lates, and then again here in the modifieds. This has got to be a great charge here as you head down the final stretch of the season.
Well, we haven't had a very good season so far. Had some connection issues all year long, so just finally starting to make a little headway with it, that's all.
Well, headway indeed. Just again, a solid night for you, and you gotta love, again coming here on a Saturday night, and you laid down the hammer, buddy. It's a good run now. You're not really in the championship fight right now, but you still have a little bit of a chance here. I mean, we've still got several races to go. What do you think about your chances as we head a little bit deeper into the season here, Phil?
Well, at this point, we're just out for wins. That's all. I'm not really worried about points this season. Like I said, with all the issues I've had, we're gonna put the hammer down now, though.
Yeah, it sure seems like it. It seems like you've got your chops up and everything looking there, and the looking good there in the the Ford EcoBoost SK Modified. Great run for you tonight. Who do you want to thank here to make that makes everything possible for you, buddy?
Well, I'd like to thank Lowell for running a good series. This is a great place to race, and we have a lot of fun. And the guys I race with. I mean, man, look at the competition out there. I think the top 10 were separated by less than a tenth, and it's tough.
All right, I'm going to go ahead and bring it up here. Maybe a little bit of controversy. We'll see here how you respond. We talked to Neff before the race. You two were fighting out there. A little bit of fun there with Neff this evening?
No, I don't think either one of us made intentional contact there. I think he got me, it was inadvertent. I looked at the replay, and I was underneath him when he started to come down. So it's just one of those things, hard racing. Yeah,
hard racing indeed. You two have been hooking them up and racing together for a long time. I'm sure everybody's still smiling. That was a great run for you tonight. Thanks a lot for bringing us so much entertainment like you guys do every week, Phil. We will see you next week. Now, actually, I'm sorry, we're taking the week off for Memorial Day, and then we get back at it at Thompson. You like Thompson, bud?
Oh yeah, me and Matt and I put on a great show there last year, if you remember.
I certainly do, and well, maybe we'll see it again next week.
Hope so.
All right, Phil. Safe travel to you. Enjoy your Memorial Day weekend, sir. We'll see you in a couple weeks. That was Philip Temples, the race winner. We're going to talk to Ryan Nuss. He finished second tonight. Bill, I believe you've caught up with him.
Got it. And Sean, I'm sure Philip Temples is a wonderful guy, a great father, a great husband, great son to his mother. don't believe a word he said to it on your last question there. I'm not buying it, Philip. I'll just say that. All right, I get to talk to. All right, now Ryan Nuss. Hey, Ryan, I tried to talk to you in the pre-race interview. I got confused. It was Brian Neff. Let me tell you, this is the interview you want to have at the end of the race.
Yeah, I wouldn't trust Philip either. Whatever he says usually isn't true. So, yeah, it's good to be in second. But yeah, I needed that. Luck was with me.
I thought you were going to pick up to be our first two-time winner of the season. It looked like you had something for Temples there until I thought maybe you put it in the wall, then you lost your stuff. Am I thinking right?
No, I think I still had enough. It's just I was better on the long runs. The short runs with the yellow flags was just killing me. He got out to a long run, and I don't know what Philip had said, but I just let him win. So I wanted a new winner. I didn't want to be the have the second win of the season. So that's the real reason why he got there.
Well, so that's our 7th winner in 7th races. I asked Brian this earlier, Brian Neff, about the inverted grid. Personally, from a fan standpoint and an announcer standpoint, I think it's great. But I want to get the idea of a driver standpoint. Do you like having to start with no qualifying? It's based on the last week's results?
I'd rather it be completely random every week, not even have an inversion. I just would like to just show up and wherever we start, that's where we start. But I would be really slow, so I'm actually happy for the inversion. Now, those fast guys that can put up those quick laps probably don't like it as much, but, when you're slow like me, I need that.
Well, you were not so slow today. Your practice time was 13th fastest, but you gridded 4th and made it up there to 2nd. It was an impressive run. I really thought you were going to get that win today. You good? Your schedule, we're off for next week. Your schedule for the rest of the season, make a run at this championship?
I'm sure hoping. It'd be nice because I want to get into the All-Star race, and I haven't won a championship yet, but it would be real nice to get up there and be able to run with the All-Star people.
Before I let you go, I got to ask you this because it tickled me. What the heck is Teeny Turtles Childcare?
Yeah, that's my sponsor this season. I picked them up because they're a great childcare. I mean, the guy that runs that is a great person. I mean, if you are anywhere in central Iowa, I recommend looking up Teeny Turtles Childcare because that guy knows how to, run a business and treat those kids right and have them grow up to be, fine, upstanding citizens.
Are there actual turtles anywhere on the premises?
Not yet.
Okay.
I'm looking to get some, but okay. Yeah. I mean, he's looking to get some.
That's great. Well, congratulations on the win. Say hi to the kids for me, and Teeny Turtles out there, good luck to you as well. Ryan Nuss, your 2nd place finisher today.
Bill, what a race tonight, man. That was a great battle. I know we were talking about it in the break. The battle we saw there mid-pack, putting on a great show. This season kind of coming down to the wire now, and it just gets a little bit more intense every week, and it's been just great racing all season. One of the most competitive seasons we've seen here on the Global Sim Racing Channel.
Well, I guess that'll wrap it up for us. And hey, drivers, even though if you don't finish on the podium, come on we'd like to interview you, so don't run away. Even if you're down there, we have questions. We watch everybody. We have questions for all you guys. And if we don't have a question, we'll make something up. But right now, we're going to wrap it up. So, hey, pay attention now. We talked about Teeny Turtles Childcare. Well, we got some real sponsors that make this thing happy. I got to thank Bootleg Racing League for organizing the Outlaw series and contracting with GSRC to broadcast it. We know you have a choice of airlines when you fly, and we want to thank you for flying GSRC. For more information about the Bootleg Racing League, go to facebook.com/Bootleg Racing League. Or, another option is bootlegracingleague.com. You can find there, they got lots of good stuff. You can find about weekly race recaps written by Chris Wolfson at iRacing News. So that's kind of cool. Let's give thanks to the companies and equipment that we use on our broadcast right now that you see on the screen. I don't know what any of it does, but Joe Peak makes to do some wonderful stuff. Our original music is brought to you by Eric Eckelm and Casey Lalonde. You can see the screen for how to contact them. Thanks to my mic mates, Sean Ambrose, our director, Joe Peak, Dougie Beard for his camera locations. Now, this is important. If you'd like to find out more about GSRC, such as archived races, your best bet is GlobalSimRacingChannel.com. We're also at Twitter at GSR Channel and Facebook at Global Sim Racing League. Now, the Bootleg series returns not next weekend because they were smart enough to not schedule on Memorial Day weekend, but they're going to come back June 4th, and that's for round 8 from Thompson Speedway. Now, unfortunately, Chris Scala is still going to be on vacation, so viewers will need to endure one more race with me at the mic. And now that on that somber note, we're going to go have fun storming the castle. So until next time, race clean, race hard, and we'll see you on the track.